So let's take a look at Game 5, New York Rangers, Carolina Hurricanes, series tied 2-2. It's going back to Carolina. And the Canes, 6-0 at home in the playoffs, 0-5 on the road. And they're in a spot where they just win their home games, they win the series. But it feels like at some point, one of those streaks is going to end. Either Carolina is going to lose at home, or they're going to find a way to somehow win on the road at MSG. Which one do you think is more likely?
I think it's probably lose at home, unfortunately. I think Carolina has just struggled so bad on the road that I'm not sure how they turn it around, other than what I've diagnosed is I think that it all revolves around the power play for Carolina. Now, I mean, at home, they've played 4 games. They've scored 6 power play goals in the playoffs. On the road, they've scored one. They've allowed one shorthanded goal against in 5 games. Like you got to look at your best players on the road to get it done. And I'm looking squarely at Aho and Teravainen, but especially at Trocheck. Like he's had 12 shots in 4 games, and he's on a 6 game pointless streak. Like you need more from your player that way, and I think that's why Carolina to me is kind of ripe to lose one at home because they just haven't been good at all on the road, like at all. And I haven't seen signs of life there. Where I think the Rangers have been able to play well enough to try to get one in their direction in Carolina. And, they found some holes lately. Like Ranta's looked human and Shesterkin's been so good, Frank. Like, I'm not sure that Carolina's going to be able to break through, especially at MSG.
Yeah, but Carolina's also been unbeatable at home. It's amazing how they've been a different team. When you look at Igor Shesterkin and his game, you take a look at his numbers here, 959 save percentage in this round. Are you comfortable in saying that he's back to the level that he was at in the regular season and the first round was just a blip, or do you have a little bit of cause for concern?
No, I think he's right there. I only thought that he had 2 poor games in the first round, which is magnified, right? I mean, it's a 7 game series. If you have 2 bad games, it can kind of predicate how you look and how you performed. But you throw those two out the window, and every time Shesterkin faces a decent load of shots, every time he's faced more than 30 shots in a game, he's won 6-0, like except for the 80 whatever shot overtime game in game one. Okay, so under 65 minutes, he wins those games. The biggest thing I think for Carolina, though, is that they haven't done a good enough job of making Shesterkin uncomfortable. And I think Pittsburgh did a really good job of that. They were in and around the crease, little bumps, traffic. Pittsburgh was good about that. Carolina needs to do more because Shesterkin on clean shots, clean net drives, he's the best in the world at it. They're going to have to make his life a little bit more difficult because it took him a while to adjust to that type of game against Pittsburgh.